Today, I'm going to show you how I plan my week in Notion. Now, I'll be using this template, which is headquarters. You do not have to use this. It's just what I'll be using for this video. So to plan my week in Notion, I use this system called the BEST planning process. Now, that's not me being egotistical. BEST is an acronym, B-E-S-T. So let's go through how this works. The first thing that I want to do when planning my week is really understand what are my different life buckets. That's the B part of BEST. See, if you don't know all of the different areas in your life, the different buckets, then it's going to be very difficult for you to plan out a very good week. So before we get to this stage here, we need to understand this. Now, look, most likely you won't have to go in and look at this every single week. Once you've done this once, it will kind of stay the same going forward. Sometimes you'll add new things like a new job or a new relationship, or a new business, but most likely this will stay pretty similar for every week. Now that we know our life buckets, the next thing to do is know our projects. So projects go into life buckets. So for example, in job, I might have a few different projects. So I'm going to write a few random projects here. We're going to say the report, and that will be under the My Life bucket of job. So I can click on that, and I can say here if there's a deadline, let's say it is next Thursday. So I can click away. That is one of my projects here. I can add these for all of the different life buckets. So let's say I have a fitness one of running a marathon, and I can say the deadline here for that is the 19th. So here I have my project, and my projects go into my life buckets. And if now I click on fitness, for example, I can see in here the related project of marathon. And if I click on job and scroll down, I can see my project here, report, it's due on the 6th. This is a deadline project. So everything is connected and it works really well. So I know my bucket, I know my projects, and now the next thing is to know the tasks. So what are the tasks involved in these projects? See, throughout my week, I'm not just going to be doing random stuff for the sake of doing tasks. I want to do stuff that actually is part of a bigger project. That's how I can make real progress and really move the needle in the different areas of my life. So here, let's say we add a task to do with marathon. That will be go for a run. And then here I could say the related bucket and the related project. So the related bucket here for running is fitness, and the related project for running is the marathon. So I can click on that, and as you can see, they show up there. And now if I add something here, write intro paragraph, for example, and that is for the project here of the report. And the bucket here is for my job. I'll talk about these other fields after. So here today I have the running and the write intro paragraph. And as you can see here, it's been added to my task list as well. So these two are connected. The beautiful thing about using databases in Notion is that everything is connected. And when everything's connected, you don't have to spend a lot of time searching. I'm only sitting in this one dashboard throughout pretty much my entire day. There's not really a reason for me to spend so much time clicking about and looking for different stuff. But if I'm at my job, for example, and I don't want to look at all of these other different stuff going on in my life, like the different projects and family stuff and blah, 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 what I can do is open up job, open it in full screen, and then here I can see all of the stuff that is just relating to my job. So when I'm at work, I can sit here and just see the stuff to do with my job and won't get distracted. And here you can see, okay, the uncompleted work tasks. I need to write this intro paragraph. Here's what I'm doing today. This is showing up today automatically because all of these filters, everything's already in place for me. And it's saying here, only show me stuff that's relating to today and only show me stuff that is to do with my job. So I'm not clicking about and having to find stuff. Everything's just showing up where and when I need it. So that was the step one of the BEST planning process. We have the buckets, we have the projects, and we have the tasks. And that's how they all connect to form B. Now, step two, once I have my task list, is to do the Eisenhower method. So I'm going to add a few more tasks in here just to show you the real power of the Eisenhower matrix. Okay, we have the task list here of write intro paragraph, run example A, B, and C. Now, the Eisenhower matrix is made up of two components. We have the importance and the urgency. So I'm going to click here for write intro paragraph. What is the importance of this? Well, it is for my job and it's for the project of the report. You know what? This is quite important. If I don't do this, I will lose my job. I need to do this. The urgency, it's due pretty soon, so I'm going to say this is quite urgent. Now, running, honestly, it's not super important. Worst case scenario, if I miss it, I'll be okay. So I'm going to say not important for it. And then for urgent here, I'm going to say, is it urgent or not urgent? Sadly, for running, I'm also going to say not urgent. Realistically, it's not that urgent for me. So I've added 3 random example tasks. So let's go through these and add the importance and urgency as well. So if I say this is important, and let's say that this example A is urgent. if I click that, as you can see, it actually jumps up in this queue. And that's the beautiful part about this headquarters template. It's actually organizing my task list for me. But if you're just using the Eisenhower matrix on paper or in another system, what you want to do is ensure that you're doing the tasks that are important and urgent first before the ones that are not important and not urgent. So if I say this is not important and urgent, as you can see, it still jumps up above running, which was not urgent. So this is urgent. We want to do example B before we go for a run. And let's say that this one is important, but it's not urgent. It's still coming up above the not important and not urgent, but it is not jumping above example B because this one is urgent. So manually having to do this on paper or in a very clunky column system or whatever you're doing in Notion can be very difficult. Hence, I built this. It just helps me organize. So now I know, okay, this is how I should prioritize my list. So that was step 2 of the best planning process, Eisenhower matrix, and it's built in here, which makes my life a lot easier. So knowing this, knowing the Eisenhower matrix, I can start doing the next part, which is S, the 7 days. I can start planning my 7 days now. So I can see write intro paragraph. That is coming up first. So I know, okay, cool. I need to do that first. So I can see I put write intro paragraph there. I can do that then. Or let's say I don't want to work on a Saturday. That's okay. We can click here and we can just change it to tomorrow. Now, if I click, I can see write intro paragraph is sitting there. Now, the next thing I'm going to add is example A. I'm working here based on the Eisenhower matrix. And I can add that in 2 ways. I can either drag it like this, and now it's been added here to my day, or I can click here and add it to my day. So let's say I do this on the Monday. Another thing we can do is simply just drag in here like this, and everything is changing in here as well. It's all connected. That's the beautiful thing about databases. This database and all of these different tabs, these are all the same database, but I'm just telling Notion to see them in different views. So I'm using different filters, different sorting, different groups in order to achieve this. And then let's add example C as well. So I'll add that here. So now I've added some tasks to my week. This is planning my 7 days, and most likely you're going to have more than 4 tasks. So you're going to start planning out your day like this. Now, what I can do here, let's just drag example C here as well and example B, just as an example. So I've got my hypothetical tasks in all of these days here. There's actually another step that I want to consider. So I'll click on intro paragraph here, and what I'm going to do is label the state. So the state here is the focus that is required in order for you to do this task. So writing an intro paragraph, this is going to be very cognitively demanding for me. This is going to involve a lot of thinking, and it's going to be quite difficult for me. So I'm going to label this as a flow task. Then example C, you know what? I'm also going to say this is a flow task. This is not an easy task for me to do. Hypothetically, I don't know what example C task is. And then example B, I'm going to say, you know what? This is also a flow task. This hypothetical task here, it is not easy for me to do. But example A, hypothetically, this is an easy task. By the way, the other options here we have is quick. So that's any task that is under 5 minutes. Something really quick, you know, like hang up laundry or something like that. And then we have personal. So this is anything that is a personal task and not really a task, but more like hanging out with friends or something like that. So I'm going to say example A is an easy task. So what I have here is flow, 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 and easy. Now I have a rule for myself when planning out my 7 days, which is I can only have 2 focus tasks, aka 2 flow tasks per day. Realistically, a person can only focus for 4 hours per day. So if I'm giving myself all of these tasks, which are super cognitively overwhelming and involve a lot of thinking, I'm going to be burnt out by the next day. And then on Tuesday here, I'm going to be too tired to actually focus, too tired to work, and it's going to mess up the next 7 days here. So what I'm doing when I'm planning these 7 days is ensuring that I only have 2 flow tasks. And here I can see, okay, on Monday, I have 3. That is not going to work. So I'm going to move here, example B to the Tuesday. I can see write intro paragraph, example C and example A, that's all okay. I can manage to do all of this on Monday, and then on Tuesday I'm going to do this task instead. Yes, realistically, maybe one day you can have 3, but it's not going to be very sustainable, and here in headquarters, I'm trying to help you get organized, productive, and motivated, and you're not going to feel very motivated or productive if you're drained all the time. If you're doing so much cognitive work every single day, you want to be realistic with your planning. Hence, I like to use this state of mind property here. It has been an absolute game changer for me, and now I actually have energy. Now, the 4th step in the best planning process is step 4, T, time blocking. So we've done B, buckets, and we've looked at our projects and tasks involved in that bucket. Then step 2, we did the Eisenhower matrix. Step 3, we planned out our 7 days. And now step 4, using these 7 days, what we want to do is time block our day. So what I'll do just for today's example is move all of these tasks here for today, just so we can see how this works in here. So I'll just do this, click on today, and here we have our today in our week's calendar. So today we're writing the intro paragraph, we're doing example C and example A. And as you can see, that is automatically showing up here under my day-to-day. Again, everything here is connected. This database, and this database, it's all the same database. So here is my day-to-day, and I can start planning out my day right in here. It's all in the same page. My day, my week's calendar, my month's calendar, my every single task list, every single personal task, every single easy task, every single task that doesn't have a date associated with it, every single project, every single workspace, every single life bucket, it's all in the one dashboard. The amount of time I save is astronomical, really. So here, my day-to-day, I can start planning out, and I see, okay, you know what? I should be doing probably this intro paragraph first. I'm going to want to eat the frog, so I'm going to drag this up first. And I'm going to say, I'll start this at 8 a.m. Then after that, you know what? I might want to break up the day and I'll go for a run after that. So I can say, let's say this is at 11 a.m. Then after that, I might have lunch. And then example C, you know what? I'll start that at 2 p.m. And then finish off the day with an easy task. I like doing the harder tasks in the day first and then finish off with the easier tasks. Typically, for most of us, we have most amount of energy and focus in the morning, and we want to leave the easier tasks for the end of the day. So I'll say this is at 4 p.m. And as you can see, this is sustainable. It is nice to me. It is a fantastic system. If you want to see the full tour with all the other features like time tracking, dynamic journaling, notes, resources, and so much more, then click on this video here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this helpful.